Well, hello, my friends. This is Steve from Amateur Hour Gaming. Today is day 36 of the 100 Day Video Challenge, and as you can see, we're going to be playing some Mount and Blade Warband. I like this game. We're going to start a new one. Since we are just doing it for a few episodes as part of the 100 Day Challenge, I'm probably going to skip over a lot of the game theory and just sort of play, but certainly through this part, I will talk through why I'm doing what I'm doing. So we're going to continue. Go ahead and make our character. Select your character's gender, male or female. We'll take a male, because that's what I am. And here, now, so this is the beginning. There's going to be 4 or 5 choices like this. Those of you familiar with, say, Dungeons & Dragons will be very familiar with what your character looks like at the end. You're going to have attributes, you're going to have skills, and you're going to have weapon proficiencies. So the choices that you're making here as we go through this, each of them affect, they add to different attribute skills and weapon proficiencies, etc. Now, it doesn't tell you what they do, but of course, pick up your smartphone and find a Mount and Blade wiki, and you can quite easily figure out what this is. For our purposes, I'm just going to go straight across the top. You can have a banner if you choose noble as your background, so I want to show you that. So we're going to take a noble. We're going to be a page in a nobleman's court. We're going to be a squire. And we're going to take personal revenge for why we left to become an adventurer. So we're going to become an adventurer and ride to our destiny. Shazam! And this is the part where we get to pick a banner. As you can see, there are quite a few of them. I know which one it is I would like, if I can just find it. Actually, I may have already gone by one. Yeah, I often like the white dove that you see there, especially for a female character. I don't know why, I just do. I think this striped one with the white sort of lizard dragon looking thing is pretty good. There's one other one I'm looking for. Yes, this is the banner that I like. I've used most of them, but although this white hound on a red background, I'm thinking of the hound from the Game of Thrones book and the continuing books afterwards. If I was going to play an evil guy, I'd probably take that one. But we're going to pick this one right here. So now I have 2 choices, right? You can quit without saving, which will allow you to sort of save before you go into a fight and do something stupid, or you can be more realistic and let it roll. I like to quit without saving because I hate losing. So here we are. So we are going to call ourselves Nathan. Actually, I'm going to leave that Y in there just for kicks. We're going to call ourselves Nathan Snow. Now, again, as I was saying, in that sort of D&D style of gaming, your attributes will affect the limits of your skills. So you can see, for example, every point in strength adds 2 hit points, and the following skills can't be developed beyond 1/3 of strength. So you got Iron Flesh up top here, Power Strike, Power Throw, Power Draw. So if you want to be quite a devastating combat character, you're going to want to focus on strength. And that's the way that it goes. So say with 9 strength, you could have 3 in Power Strike, etc., etc. I like to go for 12 strength at the beginning, because that lets me get like my Power Strike here, my Iron Flesh. That'll give me the ability to get them up to 4, which is pretty good in this game. All this is going to make sense in a little while. If you're not familiar with this game, you don't know what I'm talking about. And I also like to bump my intelligence. You see, it's actually quite low because of the choices I made initially. But every point in intelligence gets you 2 bonus skill points. And we like skill points, because that's what this is all about here at the beginning. So, I like some tactics. As you can see, every 2 levels of this skill increases your starting battle advantage by 1. This just means that you end up in a better position than your enemies, etc., etc. You get better ground, that kind of thing. And this is going to matter. So we're going to put that to 2. I like leadership is at 3, which is good, because that reduces your troop wages, as you can see, and increases the number of troops you can have under your command. Because this isn't really a single-player game. You can definitely fight in single-player, and that's one of the more exciting parts of the game. But you're managing an army, or a warband, as it were. Prisoner management I like, because taking prisoners is a good way to make some money, so we'll put 1 into that. Pathfinding. While there's a lot of awesome stuff in here that I'd really like to improve, especially in the early game, I find pathfinding very increasing, because look what it does. Party map speed is increased by 3% per skill level. So this is going to have a very profound effect on your ability to either run away from or run towards groups of enemies. Say you're trying to catch bandits. If they have fewer guys than you in their party, they can often outrun you. And equally, if you've got somebody chasing you that you don't want to fight with, the more Pathfinder you have, the more speed you have on the map. So I like that. I like a little bit of Trainer, because this will help me train my recruits outside of fights. You get XP for winning battles, but you also get XP, or your army gets XP based on your trainer level as well. So I always like to get a little of that at the beginning. That leaves me with 1 point left, and I think what I'm going to do, while there are many good options, engineering helps you siege. You've got 3 sort of medical related skills here. You've got some more map-based skills like tracking, pathfinding, spotting. Athletics is great because it lets you run around on the ground with armor on. It improves your running speed. The heavier your armor is, the slower you move, etc. And actually, you know what? I'm tempted to take athletics. I was going to take inventory management because looting is really one of the ways that you make money in these games. But I'm okay on a horse, but I'm not great. I prefer to fight on the ground because I don't know, it goes too fast and my aim sucks. Because the controls on this game, they leave something to be desired. Let's just put it that way. Now, I am going to put up my crossbows with my first weapon points here. You gain, I think, 10 per level. And based on how much weapon master you have, the limit that these proficiencies can go to increases, and you get more points each level, again, depending on your weapon master. However, in my case, I like crossbows because you don't have to invest any skill points. Power draw only affects your bows, and you can become just as proficient with a crossbow and do just as much damage without really worrying about having to sink skill points into your skill, so you can spread them out to something else. Now, here we go. You can spend forever and a day playing with all these settings. I'm not really going to do that. I think we're going to just randomize a little bit here. Yeah, maybe. There we go. That's not too bad. We'll even leave him blonde and everything. So there that is. That is apparently Nathan Snow. That's what he's going to look like for the purposes of this video. So let's click done. Now we're going to go through an opening quest, which should be fun. So this is a bit of backstory. I'll even read this for you here. So you hear about Calradia, a land torn between rival kingdoms, battling each other for supremacy. A haven for knights and mercenaries, cutthroats and adventurers, all willing to risk their lives in pursuit of fortune, power, or glory. In this land, which holds great dangers and even greater opportunities, you believe you may leave your past behind and start a new life. You feel that finally you hold the key of your destiny into your hands, free to choose as you will, and that whatever course you take, great adventures will await you. Drawn by the stories you hear about Calradia and its kingdoms, you join a caravan to Praven in the kingdom of Swadia, Rayvaden, Tulga, Sargoth, Yelkala, or Charisse. Now, these are the 6 major kingdoms. They take up different parts in the map geographically. Normally, I like to go to Swadia because they're basically in the middle of the map, so you can kind of traveling anywhere from there is sort of equidistant, right? But in this case, because I named him Nathan Snow, again, I'm thinking sort of Song of Fire and Ice. He would be like a northern bastard child. We're going to go to the Kingdom of the Nords, because they're the most northerly on the map, and they're sort of like, Vikings, Germans, that kind of thing, you know? And we're going to skip over the reading of that. And here we are. You're exhausted by the time you find the inn in Sargoth, and you fall asleep quickly. However, you wake before dawn and are eager to explore your surroundings. You venture out onto the streets, which are still deserted. And all of a sudden, you hear a sound that stands the hairs of your neck on end. The rasp of a blade sliding from its scabbard. Okay, there we go. Now, this quest is at the beginning of every game that you play, and there are a ton of mods in this game, but pretty much every mod stays true to it. There we go, easy enough. And it's just the one guy. Now, when I first played this, I thought this guy was another enemy, but you'll see that you can't actually hit him, because he is the Merchant of Sargoth. Are you alright? Well, I guess you're alive at any rate. I'm not sure that we can say the same for that other fellow. That's one less thief to trouble our streets at night, although heaven knows he won't be the last. Anyway, maybe you can help me with something. Let's talk more inside. Out here, we don't know who's listening. Let's go. The merchant takes you into his house. Once inside, he stands by the door for a while, checking the street, and then finally, convinced you've not been followed, comes near you to speak. So we're going to talk to this guy. He's going to give us basically our first quest of the game. Oh, can we loot any of this? We shouldn't be able to. Yep. All right. Fair enough. So let's talk to this guy here. Now, let me explain my proposition. We've always had brigands in the hills, driven to banditry by war, debt, love, or violence. A lot of yada yada. And last week, they took my brother. I don't know what my brother was thinking, but no doubt the gang will soon send word about a ransom, and I don't care to pay it. So here's my proposition. You look like you've had a bit of experience with a blade. And more importantly, you might have a bit of fire in your belly, or you wouldn't be coming to Calradia to seek your fortune. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Gather a small party, track down these bandits to their lair, teach them a lesson they won't forget, and get my brother back safe. In return, you'll earn my lasting gratitude and a bit of silver. What do you say? Now, I play this game often enough, I normally skip this quest, but this is sort of an interesting tutorial on how to get your feet wet, get yourself started. So we're going to say that we're interested. Alright, you won't be able to do the whole thing yourself, though. If you try to take on the whole gang single-handedly, the hunter will become the hunted. So he offers us 100 dinars, you can see there, and he tells us to go off and recruit 5 men in the local villages. And he informs us that we can find him in the tavern at Sargoth after we've gotten our group of enemies together, or our group of allies together. So that's great. We've taken our first quest. You can view your quest log by pressing Q at any time. So just to show you how that works, collect 5 men. After you collect these men, find and speak with the merchant. He's in the tavern. Excellent. Return. So you can just hit tab to exit any sort of city space. And here we are, one lone guy, Nathan Snow, on his horse. That's part of what you get for choosing the noble background. On his horse, and we're going to go to the local villages nearby. You can see castles have a graphic like this. Villages are often... Can I spin the map in this? I don't think so. Escape. Yeah. So we're going to go look for some different villages and recruit a few volunteers. And we're trying to avoid those looters there. So the village of Quinn seems to be flourishing. The fields and orchards are humming with activity. Yada yada yada. Let's recruit some volunteers. 3 Nords. Agree to follow us. So you buy these guys. Now you can also recruit mercenaries in taverns and the like. They tend to be much more expensive. They're much higher levels straight away. But you don't have the kind of money that you need at the beginning of the game to take those guys into your army. Like you'll see, we'll take a look at my opening inventory here. I got some smoked fish with which to feed my party, and 190 dinars, which is the in-game money. Got some basic armor and boots to give me a horse, a sword and a shield, and a crossbow. And we're quickly going to replace that gear.
Today the gods will decide your fate!
A Sea Raider. A Sea Raider has caught up with us. Now, I didn't see how many were in his party. I have 3 guys plus myself. Oh my god. Sometimes you have the option to bribe them. So, we're going to do this fight, which may end absolutely dismally. 4 troops against their 7, we might do it. And that'll probably be this episode. So let's charge the enemy. Alright, so the first thing I like to do is get all my guys to stop and stand in place. Normally, if I had a more diverse company, I would, you know, move my archers to a good position and my infantry to a good position. But since that doesn't seem to be the case, we're going to just move our infantry over to the top of here. And pretty much what I'm going to do is get on my horse and go harass these guys. Wow. Yeah, it looks a bit jumpy. I'm going to have to try to adjust the video settings on it. You see, and this is why I do not like to fight on horseback. See how bad I am? My horse took damage. This is just stupid. Okay, so let's get up there. We're just gonna... I'd like to try and harass these archers. I'm just running into them with my horse. Yeah, this is the amateur hour part of the amateur hour game, and I will not blame frame rates, even though I desperately want to. So we're gonna charge my infantry. Okay, so I'm gonna get off my horse, raise my shield, get my infantry to follow me, so they don't just run off and get themselves murdered. And then what we're gonna do is, oh, look at this guy with a javelin sticking right in his throat, eh? Well, let's fight these guys. Come on. See, this is gonna be a disaster. The Sea Raiders are very powerful. So see, I've already been knocked out, and they've won. They've killed all my guys. So this can happen. This is one of the reasons why you need a path. escape, guys. Alright, that's right. That's great. You've had your cheer fest. Let's go.
Yeah!
Let's go. Normally this doesn't take us long. And there we go. They killed 2 of my guys. They wounded myself and 1 of my recruits. We lost 24 morale, which is an important fact. And of course they've taken me prisoner, which means they're going to take all my money, probably my horse, and they're going to drag us around the map for a while until we escape. Yeah, see, they stole my saddle horse, they stole my hunting crossbow, and they stole $32 of my money. And God knows where they're taking me now. Yeah, there we go. After painful days of being dragged about as a prisoner, you find a chance and escape from your captors. Continue. Now, that, as far as I'm concerned, was basically a disaster. So, we are going to end this episode off here. We'll call that Day 36 of the 100-Day Video Challenge. I'm going to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I am going to play a little bit more of this, but I'm probably just going to start over and pick back up at the point where we've already taken the guy's quest. In between, I'm also going to try to figure out what's happening with my frame rate. So, thumbs up if you liked the video, guys. Thumbs down if you don't. Of course, please feel free to comment either way. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I look forward to spending more time with you guys tomorrow.